What's going on, traders? Hope everybody had a good day today in the markets. I was red in futures, but our put swing started really paying dividends today, which I was happy about. Markets were down negative 1.12%. Final print 414.09. And we're looking at the daily chart here, of course, on the S&P 500. But before we get into it, of course, this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. And if you're enjoying the content that we are putting out, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and hit the notification bell. That way you are alerted every time we post new updates about the market. We really appreciate it. And I love when you guys comment below, give your thoughts on the market, and certainly love to encourage that feedback between myself and you guys. I will answer all the comments for sure. All right, so with that being said, let's get into it here. Now, we were talking about this level being a big area of trouble, right, for the bulls, and now today finally starting to see that being true here. What did we say? We said Friday, right? Last week we were talking about on Tuesday, or excuse me, Wednesday or Thursday. We were calling my shot was Friday would be the day that we would start to turn around. And in fact, we did play out like that. So it was very nice to see. Took off some of my profits on the drop today for about 30% or so. Yeah, so really happy with that. Can't complain. I still have a little bit of the position left on, but we shall see what happens over the next couple of days. So now price is starting to get back inside of value here, right? Back under, where is the value area high here? It is 415.61. So we're back under that, right? Okay, so we're seeking that balance. And we're coming into an interesting spot now that we've sold off, and I will zoom in on that in a little bit here. The other thing worth noting, we did close below the 9, but we were basically right now sitting at the daily 20, okay, at 413.26. So that is something to consider, that even though we're seeing this retracement, again, it's a retracement, it's not a crash or anything, but the bulls could step in here and defend this area. It would be interesting. I mean, considering where the profile is, I'm not sure, how much they'll defend. It's possible that we get, a 50% retracement or something like that. Let me zoom in here. On this candle, come maybe back up and retest value area high, and then make another move down lower. If in fact we do start to get below that 413 area, I'll be looking here for point of control around that 410.60, 410.50 zone. So we are back into the range, to everybody's delight. We were talking about that, but you can see here on the bearish volume, right, 92% sell on the day, and mostly bearish volume coming in overall, slightly accelerated here over the 30-day average today. So very interesting developments there. Let's just take a look at the fibs. I believe this is it. Okay. Yep. So we basically came right into the top of the megaphone, right? And then we started rolling over. We talked about this in the last video, that it could be a flag, or we could just roll back over. Was the the two bearish and bullish, one of the bearish and bullish scenarios we talked about. We were also mentioning back under that 417 46.30 area, likely to see more selling coming into excuse me, likely to see, let me drink some water there, more selling come into the markets. And we did see that, but let's see what happens as we get closer to this 20 period moving average here, but back again into this range. So That is to everybody's chagrin, I should say. Now let's look a little bit deeper here. Where was it? I think it was this one. Okay, cool. All right, so we were also looking, right, at these fibs, okay, that we readjusted with the new swing high. We talked about this high here, right, under 417.30. Again, we just talked about that. Breaking below that, and we were talking about the 416.40, 78 area, 75 area, right? The 32 broken, and we would probably see more selling come back into the markets, and we were really targeting that 32, that 38.2 retracement, which we did get. They tried to break. I think we closed just slightly below. Okay, so just slightly below, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a recapture on that. And if we're going to do this as far as a retracement is concerned, right? This might get a little messy. All right, let's see what happens here. All right, so where does the retracement bring us, actually? And let me just take this off because it's too noisy. Where does the retracement bring us, right? 50% would bring us back to 417. So, I don't know if we'll get that whole 50%. The first target on any sort of retracement would be the 32 here, and which could just give us a 4-hour bear flag, and then we head out and head lower and probably come and seek down maybe towards this volume point of control around 411. I am going to extend this trend line that we broke out of a bit as we come down into these areas, because if we do come down, this would be an area that I would potentially be interested in looking at longs again, and I'll stretch that out, but at least we have it for, actually let me go a little bit further, for the next day, and that's really around that 410 area, and that's been a big level for sure all of pretty much this month, right? So it's around here. It's a little bit higher, I guess, maybe around 4, depending on when we do it, right? If we do come down here. So if it's tomorrow, then you have 410.50, 410 could be an area, right? So, but as far as the retracement, maybe we'll only get the 32, right? 416. 26, 30, 40 area, okay, somewhere in that zone. Okay, we could pop up here, come up, make a higher low, and then roll back over in an H pattern, right? If you can see the cursor, and then let's see if we take out the swing low, and then we'd be looking down here to those 411, 50, 60 area, 75, and near this point of control. But we are back inside a value here on the markets 4-hour and certainly in the 1-hour chart, I am sure. Let's take a quick peek at that. Okay, yeah, now we've really rotated the whole cycle on the hourly and down just basically just below value area lows. I'm sure on the 10 is a little bit, yeah, okay. So let's see, if they can in fact retrace this far, but we might only have the 32 and 38, the 23 and the 38 extension retest. But ideally, I'd like to see up to 407 here, before 417, excuse me, and that might give us a nice opportunity for the short trade, right? And this is going to probably move, obviously, as price moves, but nice confluence as it stands. If we had come, right now, if we'd come up here and shorting against the 50 and the 20, Like I said, this is probably going to readjust as price action moves overnight, but just something to watch out for. And it kind of lines up perfectly here with value area high. So that's a nice area as a potential short idea if we do in fact come up lower high and then we roll back over. All right, so that's some ideas there, but bulls really want to see back above this area and then start to retrace. Maybe we only get to the highs, maybe we get to 68, but if you're looking for something with more confirmation, you know, probably over the 38.2 would be a decent idea. But certainly on counter trend trades, you take them smaller and you just take level to level, right? You don't hold for the home run trying to get the 50% retracement. You go take some off right along the way. Okay, so let's see about that. And then, as a matter of fact, I am going to actually, oops, I'll take a little screenshot of this so I can save it for my records. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking for. And now really, you know, we're gonna have to see if we get below the 20-day. If we get below the 20-day on the daily, and I think that's pretty much the swing low. What was that? Now I don't remember off the top of my head. Whoops, that wasn't what I wanted to do. $413, right? Okay, 413, 413.26, that area, that's what's going to need to be breached to see more selling in the markets. And, you know, so that will be my new kind of area to see. That would have to see some closes under. Otherwise, I'd probably be a little bit more favorable for some type of retracement, and that doesn't mean that this sell-off is over. But, you know, short-term moving average is still bullish here, so, you know, it's just a retracement. And you know, we could come down and, like I said, even test here, and as long as we defend trend line, okay, bulls are still technically in control, at least in the short term. All right, now so we start getting under 400 and stuff like that. Okay, that now we can start singing another tune. But let's just go back really quickly to our fibs here, and all right. Okay. So the other thing I wanted to kind of point out, and let me get these back on our charts. Okay. The other thing that, you know, that I think is interesting that could support, you know, any type of a retracement or a bull idea at this point here is this zone, right? This is that the highs basically that we broke out from the beginning of the month. Okay, so you know, from here we can even really, and I'm going to take this off actually, sorry. So from this low, right, and we're just sitting in this demand here. And then we're going from the highs from here, right, here, okay? So I'm going to be watching this area, and it's pretty much the base that we broke out of here. Here, you know, we had a fake breakout over that base, but I'm going to be watching this area to see if it can be defended. Probably, you know, thinking about taking a futures trade overnight to see if we can't, if it can't be defended. I'm just waiting till 6 o'clock. I want to see how they open. They're still open right now, but I just want to wait till the fresh open. But let's see if this defends, right? Right now, you know, recapturing 415 is going to be the big level, and then we have a chance to start with that retracement, but we have to just take that, but you know, level to level. But you know, the this base area certainly is worth mentioning to potentially be supported in the market, and let's see if they can do it. One thing that's worth noting tomorrow is that it is NVIDIA earnings, so we'll have to watch out for that in after hours. That could definitely drive the market higher or lower. Certainly extreme oversold conditions right here on the Momo, at least on the hourly. 4 hour has a little bit more room to go. Let's actually, now that we've done this, let's look at some of the liquidity. And all right, we're going on about 15 minutes here, so I know the attention span is probably waning. Not many of, oh my god, sorry. Okay. All right, let's get to the liquidity here really quickly, and then we will call it. But we have, like I said, we have this bear idea. If we start to break the 20, start to break under this 413 area, okay, then we're going to be looking lower. Otherwise, looking for somewhat of a retracement, a backup, and 415 is going to be really the gateway, and then we can see about 415, 416. Go back and look at the fibs a little bit earlier if you want to see some of those levels. But let's go into our liquidity here really quickly, and then we'll close it out. See if we can't surmise any supports or any areas where buyers might be sitting here. Okay, 30 doesn't really give us much information. I'm sure this area, well, barely. Okay, just the smallest a little bit here, holding on the 10, starting to build up some bids. Okay, it's there on the 5. Okay, but I want to see something on like a 30 or something a little bit more sustained. Okay, not so much here. I was really hoping there'd be something there on the hourly. I mean, this is still true, but I just wanted to double check and confirm to see if we would see anything else. Alright, so something here on the 4. So a lot of areas here. We're gonna have to see if this zone starts to flip, but this certainly looks interesting. Right into this zone here, you can see all these bidders up here, but these are pretty likely to turn into sell sides pretty soon, but we'll have to see how we react overnight. But it certainly is an interesting place here. Coming into this area, so we'll have to see. But yeah, that's pretty much my plan. And over 415, 415 and a half, we'll start to feel a little bit better about the retracement. But until then, doing anything is really risky. So 415, yes, and 416, we'll call it 415.80, recapturing this daily, this hourly 9, then may lead us back up to the 23 to come in and retest this 417. We were talking about that 417 a little bit earlier, I believe, on the other fibs, with that 50% retracement short idea. So we'll have to watch out for that as well, which also again has that confluence with this hourly value area high. So that is another idea as well. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. I hope everybody had a great trading day. My swing puts were green, but my futures are red. And the worst part was I had a short last night at like 42.13 or something like that. But oh, but what can you do? So that's the way it goes. All right, take care.